Hello. Hi. It's been what? 3-4 months. I take really long breaks. I apologize. I do this all the time, like without fail. I'll make one video and I'm like, this can supplement for 2 weeks and then I'll leave. I shouldn't do that. It's Kai, y'all. I'm back with another video. Probably not back because I do go back to school soon. I did finish my first year of college. Congratulations to me. But I will be going back soon. However, I'm going to try to continue making videos because I actually do what I'm doing today. I want to make this into a series because I love Iceberg conspiracy theory charts. I love them. I love watching video essays of people literally talking for 40 minutes about one conspiracy theory iceberg. Now, personally, I don't have the strength, time, or patience to edit a video that's that long and then bring it to you. However, I am going to do it in parts. My first round of videos is going to be the K-pop conspiracy theory iceberg because me and Shrek are very big K-pop fans, and I want to do this because I love K-pop. I like this different kinds of stuff. So personally, to me, this is really interesting. Especially in recent time, I haven't been too into like immersing myself into this. So me and like K-pop and stuff. So me reading this stuff and like seeing things that have happened is really like, wow, really? Really? Like, I didn't know this stuff was going on. So this is a learning thing for me. And if you guys are interested, a learning thing for you as well. So, me and Shrek are going to do this conspiracy theory chart for you. I have 2 tiers already typed out and ready. But we'll see how long this video is when I do tier 1. And then if it's not very long, I'll do tier 2. But if it's too long, or if I feel like it's running long, I will do tier 2 in another video. But I will literally be recording tier 2 right after this, and then I will be editing them, and then I'll just bring them out at appropriate times, you know? So, without further ado, the K-pop conspiracy theory iceberg. It will be here somewhere. Tier 1. First thing is Korea boos. Now basically Korea boos is a topic which means people who are really overly obsessed K-pop fans or fans of Korean culture who are extremely overly obsessive about like the whole thing, from wanting to be Korean rather than the nationality, ethnicity they were born with, trying to fetishize Korean culture and their people, and are just super cringy people who are really into Korean culture and are just really obsessed to a weird aggressive extent. And that's not really a conspiracy, but that's just like what they are. Second thing, the Rising Sun scandal. Now, I remember when the Rising Sun scandal came about, and I was actually disgusted. When I heard about this, like I remember like Seungri and all them stuff, like I was disgusted about the whole situation. I was more immersed into K-pop when this happened, so I was all up on it. But basically, the Rising Sun scandal, I'll keep it short. You can read so many like articles about what happened, but what I could find on this was back in 2019, it was a major sex scandal that was uncovered with multiple Korean celebrities and K-pop idols who were having a deal in with it. Like it was like someone who made a group chat, and then multiple other idols and actors and stuff like that who had their hands in this group chat, in this basically like almost like sex ring sort of thing. And someone had made a group chat, and basically all the idols and actors and stuff like that and models will be in this group chat sending back and forth naked photos of different women and stuff like that, degrading people and just doing horrific things, sending money to each other or different third parties to get this information. It was a huge thing. It was huge. And it was basically where a chat room with multiple idols were made, sexual conversations on very disturbing levels were discussed, sexual videos were shared between them, and a lot of stuff. Notable celebrities who were found in this chat and charged were Jung Jun-young, Choi Jung-eun, Seungri. Seungri was big because I think he was one of the main players in this chat room. I remember when all this came out, he was like frontlining all of like the headlines. I think he was like one of the top people who were in this group chat. Young Joo-hyun, Lee Jung-hyun, Roy Kim, and Eddie Kim. Those are notable people who were charged and arrested for this. And it was a huge thing. It was almost like a sex ring almost in a group chat. And they would like converse and stuff like that, constantly sharing videos, photos, information about people. It was a whole thing. It was an entire whole thing. Fan fictions. So fan fictions, y'all. Fan fictions. There are different realms of fanfic. There's like tame, where to be like angsty fluff or stuff like that, or just like your good old romance story that has really nothing relatively wrong with it. Sometimes it may be unrealistic. Sometimes you may just be like, ew, I don't like this trope, but it's a relatively like normal story, you know, like it's not something you'd be like, oh my god, do I have to call the authorities? Not that kind of thing, but it's like relatively normal, you know. But this is basically, if you've never heard of fanfic or if you've read very little, this is basically the fact that a lot of K-pop fans and avid writers in general, when it comes to like their favorite fandom and stuff like that, when it comes to, they'll make fan fictions about their favorite K-pop idols, K-pop groups, and sometimes put them and or the reader as the center of romantic stories created for the entertainment of not only them, but hundreds of thousands of other K-pop fans and people in different fandoms and stuff. There are multiple stories all over the web on different platforms like Webtoon, AO3, different websites and stuff like that. Some of them can definitely be on the weirder side of things. As I said, should I call the authorities kind of stories, and then there are stories where it's like, oh, this was cute, it made me cry, like this was a genuinely well written piece of art. And then there's just some like, what were they thinking? Like, what were they thinking? Because why would you write that? There's two very differing degrees of fan fiction. But yeah, that can be on the weirder side of things, can be very disturbing to say the least, but others can be quite tame in terms of fake romantic fantasies of K-pop fans inserting themselves or the reader into storylines with famous idols and or groups. And usually within these, either it'll be a set piece or it'll be you as YN, your name, or it'll be the reader that's making it just kind of like about them almost, or just a general sort of thing, where it'll be you and a specific idol. Or people do like to do this where it'll be, if you like a group enough, you'll insert the entire group basically in some way, shape, or form into the story. I've read that a lot with BTS fan fictions. They try to insert them in any way they can. Like J-Hope could be the bus driver for all you care. He gonna be in that story though. He gonna be in that story. Namjoon might be just like a tutor. He gonna be in that story though. He gonna be in that story. Yeah, Jimin is the center, but everybody gonna be included. Everybody's gonna be included, period. Cultural appropriation. Aha! Don't we love cultural appropriation? This is an interesting one. I didn't write too much about it because, I mean, you know what cultural appropriation is. Basically, people who aren't appreciating a culture and simply using them as an aesthetic, or not caring about the significance, the cultural significance to a certain group of people, that an item or a word or a certain lifestyle, it might have significance to a certain group of people, and they simply don't care, and they basically use it as aesthetic. But in this case, it is reference to the many instances of K-pop idols and K-pop culture culturally appropriating another race. Some big things are the appropriation of black culture, sometimes Desi culture, Hispanic culture, among just a few. Also within the realm of saying different slurs like the N-word and stuff like that, is being done way too often, especially in this day and age. Like, it's 2023, y'all. It ain't like it's 1940 and we barely know. Like, and they knew back then too. So there isn't any excuse. It's 2023. You have this little phone in your hand. You can search up what cultural appropriation means, put the lines and the points together, and make a whole design of like, wow, this is crazy. Like, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. And wearing traditional clothing or hairstyles that aren't culturally theirs to wear, among a lot of other things. Like, I could say different things like, even now, I see this a lot now, especially I see this a lot on TikTok and stuff like that with Japanese people or even Korean people. But I've seen this in pictures from back in the day with older idols, like older generation idols, like Gen 2, Gen 3, or no, Gen 2, 1, sometimes 3 as well. But basically, where they'll wear locks or dreads, or they'll do blackface, or they'll do a black scent, and obviously it's not appreciating, it's obviously appropriating and degrading and misrepresenting a group of people. Or I know that I saw one video, there are dogs barking like, bro, like they're fighting, like it's loud. Anyways, y'all, okay, anyways, I also saw that like Hispanic culture, like Chicano culture has been like, I forgot if they said it was in Japan or Korea, but it was becoming like a rising trend to wear clothing in the aesthetic of that culture. And I know like groups like Blackpink were highly criticized. I forgot what music video it was, but they were highly criticized for a couple of things. I remember one time they were highly criticized for a song that they had made, and they were wearing attire that was mainly grouped with the Desi culture, and people were saying that's really inappropriate. Why would you do that? Like, that's obviously, like, you know what you're doing, sort of thing. But yeah, that's basically the whole realm of cultural appropriation within this. The big three. Personally, I don't know. I researched the big three. I don't know what I was supposed to get out of it, conspiracy theory wise, but the big three are just talking about the three biggest companies in K-pop currently, which SM, YG, JYP Entertainment. Some people even include the big four, or they take out a company and put HYBE in there because they've become so enormous over the last couple of years. So either they'll say it's the big four, or they'll take out a company from SM, YG, or JYP, and they'll insert HYBE and stuff like that as being part of the big three. And there's not really much to say, but I even put that in my notes, but there's just more things. There might be more things within this list that include the big three, that include some sort of maybe like scandal or something that might be happening within the company. But as of big three, that's really all I could find, just like what the big three companies are and stuff like that. I don't think there was a real conspiracy behind it. Woojin allegations. So if you don't know, Woojin used to be a member of Stray Kids. Recently, he left the group, but he's a former member of Stray Kids. Woojin came under fire for sexual assault allegations. This is what this thing is about. Made by several women anonymously via Twitter back in 2021. He then later addressed said allegations on a live stream on Instagram. in which he denied the allegations, and his company also backed him up during the time. 10X Entertainment also denied these claims and tried showing proof of Woo-Jin not saying anything, not doing anything of what these women were allegedly saying he did. And just proving that Woo-Jin wasn't even home during the time these events were happening. And that, however, things are still up in the air. Things are still up in the air. I think they still are, honestly. Jung-hyun and Jimin. I think I heard about this before, but I wasn't invested in the tea, and I should have been. Because honestly, this is kind of long. Basically, this refers to an alleged rivalry or beef between two K-pop idols. Both idol fan bases from BTS and Twice, respectively, ARMY and ONCE, suspected some sort of beef between the two idols back a couple years ago. When the two groups were together and they were singing together with one another, it was at this like show or something like that, like a showcase. And BTS began to sing their very popular song of the time, which was Spring Day, and Twice joined to sing with them because at the Music Bank, it was an event, Music Bank, this is a South Korean music program. They were being interviewed at the same time in the same room with one another. During an ending part of the song, Jung-hyun sang much louder than both groups, which Jimin seemed to give her a look that didn't look like a happy look from fans. In their perspective, and viewers who noticed, and this helped to start what became Jimin and Junghyun having some sort of beef with one another, because everyone was like, why did he look at her like that? What's going on, y'all? Tell us. And multiple times the two have exchanged such unhappy looks at one another for reasons unknown, and some sort of beef that people are still trying to figure out to this day, but nothing is clear because they haven't come out being like, yeah, I have beef with this person, we gonna fight. Like, nothing like that has came out. No discerning thing has came out being like, yeah, we have beef, this thing happened between us, we are separating each other, we are separating being associated with each other, but either we do or we had issues. That's never came up. But people are assuming, simply because of these multiple occasions of them not looking the happiest being in each other's presence, there may have been something happening behind closed doors that caused them to have beef with each other. Y'all, that is tier 1. This video has been going on for 18 minutes. Probably it'll be shorter, a little bit shorter, once I edit this down. So I will be doing tier 2 right now. So tier 2, y'all. Idol School and basically Produce 101 is rigged. So what I got from this, the Idol School was actually a television show which aired back in 2017 and was specifically a girl group survival show. In South Korea, there's a thing called survival shows where K-pop idols, K-pop idol hopefuls will be on this show for a several-week period and go through multiple singing and dancing challenges and hopefully survive every single week up into the last week of the competition. And if you make it through the entire show, you are more than likely going to debut in some sort of group, most likely with obviously the people that you were training with and doing these challenges with for weeks on end. And basically just come out on top and get pre-debut training and become a full-blown idol by the end of the show. This show was catered towards finding the next girl group on a network called Mnet over an 11-week period. Produce is also another show which contestants go on to hopefully become a K-pop idol by the end of the contest period. It's the same concept or the realm of television. The conspiracy theory here is that these shows are rigged in the way that people, because you can actually vote, the viewers can vote. It's not just the judges. Judges, of course, can have their own opinion, but the viewers can also vote on people that they like the most, who they like the most via performance and all that different stuff. And viewers can vote And basically the conspiracy theory here is that these shows are rigged and that the viewers' votes don't actually matter, and that people who have better looks, who maybe have better looks than genuine skills, who can just be taught later on in the trainee period, get through, instead of people who have genuine talent and aren't getting through. And just basically the whole narrative is that these shows are rigged and that it's almost like America's Got Talent or the X Factor. Some people genuinely get through because they might have the look and they can train them later, but they don't have the talent right now. They have to be some sort of talented. They can't be but like crazy. Like, it can't be like, oh my god, you have a horrible voice, but you're really pretty, so we're gonna put you through the next round. Not that, but like, it'll be like they're not ready yet, but they have that look that will push them even further once they get those skills necessary to move forward and get big. That's the same thing with America's Got Talent and stuff like that. So that's what I'm getting from this. It basically is rigged. The votes don't matter. And that as long as you have some extent of skill, your looks will put you further than your skills ever will, basically. Sasaengs. Sasaengs is a crazy topic, y'all. So, this group of people is basically insane stalkers. Really insane stalkers. Sasaengs are notorious for stalking and engaging in predatory behavior towards idols and celebrities. They're obsessed with finding idols' exact flight locations, hotel details, professional schedules down to a T, finding home addresses, sending food and dangerous items to an idol's home, attacking them relentlessly online, threatening their lives, and even sometimes trying to pursue said threats that they have made. They're a genuine force to be reckoned with. Like, it was crazy. Like, there was a Sasaeng situation, back maybe a month or so ago, about a girl who, if you guys obviously are know the realm of K-pop, you know BTS Jungkook. He has V-Lives all the time in his apartment at his home, and the issue was that he was trying to just do his thing, just like drinking, talking to the fans and stuff like that, and just engaging and just sitting and relaxing, basically just like this, how I'm talking to y'all, just engaging and just wanting to talk with ARMY, which is the fan base. And basically what had happened, the Sasaeng had found his apartment or penthouse address and had sent him a home-cooked meal that supposedly her mother really liked to cook, or that her mother really liked, and sent him food. Found his home address. And he's like, thank you so much for the food, but I can't eat this. Obviously, which is true, he can't, because how does he know what's in that food? He doesn't know if it's poisoned or not. He doesn't know what it's cooked with. He doesn't know what's going on with that food. It was just sent to his door. Obviously, rightfully so. So he's like, okay, thank you so much, but I can't eat this. If you send me more food to my house, because this obviously means that you know where I live, I'm going to have to contact the authorities, because this is not in my best interest or in my best safety. Because this is very unsafe that you know where I live. So I'm sorry I can't eat your food, but I will have to contact the authorities if you do this again. And then I saw this on TikTok. It came across my feed. And basically the girl who had done this was extremely upset with Jungkook that he did not eat her food, and was threatening to basically stab him to death because she knew where he lived and she knew his schedule. And she was trying to use another Sasaeng to get his new address and stuff like that, and his new location, because he wasn't in his home at the time she was trying to kill him. It was a whole thing. And eventually people actually obviously death threats in any form, it's not okay. But people were like, oh my god, and they sent her death threats and just threats against her life. And basically she was like, guys, I don't deserve this. I was just trying to, making all sorts of excuses. And basically she stopped immediately after everybody was basically against her and not for her, literally planning to kill BTS Jungkook. obviously nobody was going to be on your side, girly. Like, I don't know what she was thinking. But yeah, that's like an example of just how crazy it can get. And it's a whole thing. It's basically like really crazy stalkers in America who are super obsessed with a celebrity in the US. And they'll want to, like, they fantasize and like relish this entire world with somebody who doesn't even know they exist, and they'll go to extreme great lengths to make this person know that they exist and that they're their #1 fan or something like that. Or like they'll even kill them because they're like, okay, you don't notice me but you notice everybody else, so no one else gets to have you. That sort of thing. Next item on the list of tier 2, 𝐚𝐻𝐨 and stylist and the stylist scandal. So I actually didn't know this was happening. I had to research this on my own. I've never heard about this before. But basically, before I read what I have, the whole situation was basically 𝐚𝐻𝐨 from Red Velvet, I believe. Her stylist was coming out saying and alleging that 𝐚𝐻𝐨 was basically being extremely verbally and physically abusive and rude to her, and like basically was accused of verbal abuse and just being very rude to her stylist by the stylist who would do her hair and makeup. And in October of 2020, the stylist came out about this and made allegations against the K-pop idol. 𝐚𝐻𝐨 is a part of the girl group Red Velvet. This whole scandal is basically that people aren't entirely sure if this is really true, because the stylist did allege this, but nothing concrete came of it. I don't believe any, because from my research, nothing conclusive came from it, and it kind of just fizzled out into obscurity. But if it really happened, what exactly happened between the two, or if the stylist was simply trying to make 𝐚𝐻𝐨 look bad, there were reports that the stylist was getting physically abused from the stylist, of physical abuse towards them, 𝐚𝐻𝐨 being rude during appointments, and verbal abuse, like I said. And that's basically the whole thing. And like the conspiracy is like, basically, did 𝐚𝐻𝐨 really do this? Like, was she really as rude and abusive verbally or physically as this stylist is putting out, basically? Our second to last item on the list is the Dallas police fan cam scandal. Once again, this is not a conspiracy. This was a real thing that happened. This was not a conspiracy. It's something that really happened. And I remember it happening back in like 2020. But basically the situation is, so back in 2020, during the BLM protests, Dallas Police Department had posted on Twitter asking people to send the department videos of protesters so that they could easily pick out and arrest protesters, right? Because at that time, they were trying to wrongfully arrest a lot of BLM protesters simply for protesting, even if it was a very peaceful thing. They were still trying to arrest them, find their faces, be like, are there any identifiable tattoos, all that different stuff. What K-pop fans did was spam the life out of the Dallas Police Department's page with K-pop fan cams. And a fan cam is basically a video of an idol. Usually it's focusing on one specific idol out of a group. So like ATEEZ or Stray Kids, you might want to like focus on a specific member during a performance, a live performance usually, and it's just them being featured in that video and following them during the performance. But yeah, fan cams and even videos of themselves in order to protect BLM protesters, which I thought was the coolest thing ever. And I was like, K-pop fans, when need be, come together at the right times to do the right thing. And that was a really cool moment when I was like, I was like, wow, y'all really just be coming together like that. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Our last item of tier 2. This video is 30 minutes long. It's gonna take me forever to do this. Anyways, mistreatment of Chinese members. Now, what I got out of researching this topic was basically hitting on the point that within the K-pop world, Chinese members of K-pop groups are being mistreated by other idols or their companies, which is making K-pop hopefuls who are from China much more hesitant to become one, and the current ones are disappearing from the K-pop scene altogether because of this alleged mistreatment being handed to them. Even things such as several Chinese members of EXO trying to nullify their contract with their company because they were being mistreated, and others having to go through multi-stage and multi-year legal battles with their labels because of mistreatment and not being able to be treated well within their company, get the same treatment as other K-pop idols within their company. And just wanting to be treated better by their company, and they're having to go through these strenuous processes in order to get treatment, and or it barely even happens and nothing comes of it, and they just went through legal battles basically for nothing. But yeah, that's that one. Because the conspiracy theory behind that one is basically like this stuff is happening, but the companies want to continuously deny this mistreatment that they're handing out to their Chinese members of their groups, and basically like, this didn't happen. We're not gonna nullify your contract. We're gonna continue to make you go through this multi-year strenuous process of suing us and stuff like that, because it never happened. And that's the whole scandal behind that, or the conspiracy behind that. Alright guys, so that is the end of tier 1 and tier 2 of the K-pop conspiracy theory Iceberg. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I'm actually enjoying researching this. I will be doing more research on the other tiers, and I will be getting those out to you guys as soon as I can. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this first part of the iceberg. Well, first 2 parts of the iceberg. And I hope to see you guys very soon, and I hope to not take another break. I hope that I don't. Because you guys deserve content, and I don't deliver sometimes, so yeah. But other than that, thank you guys for watching once again. Please like, subscribe, share this, comment down below what other kind of iceberg charts would you like me to do, if you want me to continue doing other charts, because I feel like everybody has done something that has already been done. And I mean, if y'all want me to find new charts about same thing like space, underwater, cryptids, SCPs, stuff like that, if you want me to find new iceberg charts of that, I can definitely try and give you some new fresh information that isn't in other iceberg chart videos. But other than that, yeah, comment and tell me what you guys would like if you guys did like this video. And yeah, see you guys later. Bye.